Hello. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Is my voice normal? Testing, doing quick test. So, hello, Stream Deck? Please? My voice should be normal. For some reason, my Hear Self isn't working. Please give me a moment while I check some things. I'm using my backup monitor. Mic aux. Testing, testing. Oh yeah, it sounds so normal. Or as normal as I typically sound. Okay, so starting a little bit later than normal, the good Lord decided in his infinite wisdom to strike down my power as a whole for about 2 hours. I more or less got to my place of residence within moments of being stream capable. So while I am only a little late, that is the reason. But we are here. As you are probably aware, April Fool's is today. That is why I am a Mithra with a mannequin face. I have not tossed in the race swap mod or add-on. I am not cosplaying intentionally. In about an hour and 40 minutes, the admins, hallowed be thy name, are going to take down the server in order to undo the memery. That's why. Let me check to see if Reno is available to party. So an hour and 40 minutes is a good enough amount of time to party. We will also be presumably live again once the servers go down a few minutes to 5 minutes, depending on how complex the operation is to unduel the race swap joke that's happening. But we'll see. We'll just play it by ear. Today is all about adaptation. That's the major takeaway. And if nothing else, it helps me build character, and oh boy, do I love that. Oh no, my Stream Deck isn't behaving properly. I can't play my funny sounds. That's just unacceptable. Because the power going out didn't completely mess up my setup, but it sure isn't helping. Camera works. Stream controls work. Music works. Sweet music works. Yeah, the bar's going up and down. Testing funny sound. Oh, there we go, dude.
Fine, I guess you are my little pog champ.
You never know how addicted you are to these until you spend an uncontrollable amount of time away from them. Even a moment can feel like an eternity. How can I gotta just keep...
Macaroni.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, let me see if my buddy's on. Who play? Partying. Oh no, soundboards. I never realized how much I needed a soundboard in my life until I had access to one, and thereby 10 different soundboard folders to react to a number of different situations in real time with about 10 to 15 sounds each. I definitely got, like, I'm still not used to just how much power this thing gives me. All right, so I'm gonna give Reno, who I intend to party with, one moment. Give me 1 second, guys. There's still some more technical stuff that I gotta work out in the background. Bear with me 1 moment. Or even 2 moments, if you can withstand that. I'll be right back. Okay. Just need to make sure that there was stuff that wasn't like breaking in the background. There is a very, very small chance, however slight, that the storm that is circling me at the moment is going to try to take me offline again. If that happens, I would honestly just take the opportunity to do something else if I'm not back in about 5 minutes. If you do show me the mercy of returning, if you see me pop back up, I will be forever in your collective debts, but do not feel beholden to it. I will survive. We will survive. Level sync 30. Do we need it? Alrighty. So to kind of follow up on what you were saying, Hero, not only have I taken it upon myself to engage with Final Fantasy XI, but I'm also working with a pseudo MMO called Foxhole, which is the persistent world, alternate reality, World War II, massively multiplayer online cooperative game. And that is its own type of a whole thing. But, you know, it's just, I guess it's just happens to be the type of thing that just, you know, I don't know, just makes me pog out of my gourd. Okay, so Reno is on board. We are going to be trying to do some partying today. If the elements, the powers that be, agree with me and permit me to do so, which means that we're going to be partying on our warrior. I don't remember offhand what is a good party location for level 30. I believe 29 would be like Sahagan and Yatanga Jungle. But let me check my ancient Camp Sataru's website. Foxhole is truly psychotic in the sense that it is a it's an anarcho-capitalist like 1984 type war simulator. If like two countries had a forever war that was lasting literally forever. So months, everything that is in the game is created from players, by players, from scratch, delivered by players to players who then use that equipment to fight other players in up to 240 people. Basically team death matches with extra steps that happen across 30 collective hexes, which are basically like giant maps that are all self-contained on their own servers. I have about 4,000 hours in it. Would I recommend it to people starting out fresh? I still would. Once you start to see the forest for the trees, you can definitely see some cracks that are inherent to it, like just baked into the design that would be very difficult to override. Oh yeah, there's Eastern outside the desert. Let's do that. Beetles are fine. I don't know what this music is. I want video game lo-fi. There we go, that's good. So I need to gear up. We will be going as a warrior ninja. If I can at all help it, I'm going to be pulling in addition to probably off tanking. Let's see. I'm going to be using a lot of my holdovers from Ninja to accomplish this, because I already happen to have a lot of level 30 stuff that is pretty good for me. But I will have to get some temporary stuff in between. Where that's good. Silent oils, I don't need them, but I'm gonna take them anyway. GI. Balance rings for swapping in. Warrior's belt, good. Spike necklace, good. Shinobi tabby. Some X potions in case things get really bad. Nope, don't want that. And then hopefully there's some Navarin that's on the auction house. I don't think I have any more. / find Navarin. Yeah, Centurion gear is now available to me. That's an extremely good point. We'll see how it shakes up against the Kingdom trousers. Just double checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. One day I'll turn in the Carbuncle's Ruby, which is functionally done. I just haven't brought myself to going to a Lithium Plateau because it's just like Uggers, dude. It's like, I gotta like take a teleport Hala, and then I gotta like go to the place with a Chocobo, and then do the cutscene, and then it's just a whole thing. I do enjoy this Balamore character. That is part of the April Fool's event that is happening currently that they're going to be undoing in an hour and a half. Okay, let's equip what we do have. Probably balance rings. Just because it's simple and easy. If I'm going to be pulling, I need to grab a couple of stacks of darts. No, I'm only going to grab 1 stack of darts. That should be all I need. I only went about like through 50, 60 last time. I want to check the stock of axes because there hasn't been a huge number of axes available recently. It's been unfortunate. The axe selection is not great. I guess let me see how much these battle axes plus ones are. Sure, you know what, that's fine. Please. You cannot be serious, dude. Who buys battle axe plus ones? That's fine. And I'm not gonna get. That's fine. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. You're allowed to be like that. I understand how being a crafter is. You know? I am down that road on the daily, as the cool kids say in their street colloquialisms. Oh yeah. Look at that. Nope. Wait, how much is that? 9. Okay, we got legs or feet. I'm still gonna roll the Emperor hairpin. It's because it's the Emperor hairpin. I don't know, I kind of want the drip, so I'll go with the Centurion gauntlets. Probably slightly better, but like how much is like 1% extra hit chance gonna do for me really over the long term? Don't answer that. Like the first 3 axe weapon skills are all question mark strength based. Ooh. $7,000. That's incredibly cheap for how expensive points-wise Centurions is. Centurion finger gauntlets, and then let's compare the Centurion pants with the Kingdom trousers that I have. It doesn't really matter, but I'll go the whole set. All my homies love matching sets, and I could not risk the wrath of the homies. Okay, so we have a baseline equipment set. I don't like being like 10 levels below. Oh, I don't like being 10 levels below the fucking my actual level for axes, but you know, sometimes that's just how the cookie disintegrates. Oh yeah, the theme of the day is fun. We may have encountered some storms that knocked out my power and eviscerated my stream setup for about 2 hours. However, in that time, I did go get some borderline edible pizza. It wasn't bad. It just tasted like nothing except for the pepperoni. I need to make sure I have instant warp. I already have instant warp. I need to grab some signet. And then I need to grab food. So Navarin is my food of choice. Probably because it's muscle memory with me slamming it back so often as a ninja for the extra 2.5% evasion that it gives me, but also because of the effect that it's had on me psychologically after running a DPS check and seeing that Navarin versus Soul Sushi at around this level bizarrely is like almost like 1,000 damage level difference, or 1,000 damage difference in the Navarin's favor, if you can believe that. You would think that just being able to hit more often would contribute more over the long term, regardless of what level you are. But the attack addition is so extreme that it means that when you hit for like almost 40% more than you normally do. What's my attack now? / check ram me. Cannot, I must close the open window. Okay, primary attack 134. 134 in the calculator on the side that you cannot see. Times 0.2533. Which is good enough for me, so we will just eat the steak. What? I'll just buy 2. I'm only getting warrior up to 37 for reasons that may or may not be self-explanatory. I do not intend to get it up any higher than that. I respect the wars that do. But my ongoing objective for this character is a little kitty. Ongoing objective for this character is getting Ninja to 60 to complete Limit Breaker 2 and to put them at the right level for Hocho, which is a +3 cooking katana. Reno is still offline. We need to scout anyway to see if the camp is open regardless. Shout, teleport, alt tap, can I have it? Money, you can have this. I should get picked up pretty soon. Alt-Tap is a pretty common teleport. I always try to do the courtesy of scouting out camps before I actually go to them. It causes a subpar experience when you basically decide that you are going to try to camp almost on top of another party, which I would describe probably being within like 40 meters. Sometimes it's not something that you can help, but if there's multiple camps in the same zone, you should try to make a good faith effort to avoid camping functionally on top of another party. Unless it's like a weird situation where you happen to be going after two different types or subsets of mobs that don't really interact. Like if the level difference between the mobs generally floating around in the area is such that one party is hunting stuff for their level, the other one is hunting for stuff that's a little bit higher. I respect the Dragoon. Dragoons are hilariously strong. And not only because there's a not small portion of the game's monsters that are weak to piercing, but because they got a fucking mini dragon guy. They have a little dragon baby. That does work. According to the Holy Bible, the Brady Games Guide, allegedly, if you equip support job White Mage, the dragon becomes more effective at using healing breath. Is that true? I vaguely remember doing something like that, but I've never put myself in a position to either be or see a dragon / White Mage in a party. Interesting. Does it ever use healing magic otherwise? Like if you do / Red Mage, does it choose? Okay, interesting. Check to see if Reno is back. All right, since nobody is biting in Lorweno, Juno, whatever your parlance, I'm going to / yell teleport Alt-Tap. Can I have it? Money, you can have this. Sometimes, but not always, White Mages kind of hide in the other areas of Juno, presumably to avoid lag spikes or to find people more easily, and I don't blame them. Allegedly, black screening happens a little bit less. Oh, thank God we got one. Let's go. Got a transportation. Let's do it. Hello. I got the food, right? Yeah, I bought 2 pies. Oh no, it's not. That's only for half an hour. I gotta grab a stack. One moment. Apologies. I thought there were 3 hours. I'm thinking of the Dommel stew or whatever. That's fine. The person that made those made a little bit more off of me than normal. That's okay. I'm here to support the economy. All hail the economy. On the way to you. Gavin is here. Locking. As soon as he becomes aware of my presence, we should be on the way. So with the unexpected cornucopia of interesting experiences that led to me being here, I forgot to do my normal mini spiel. That being, as a new affiliate, I am required by our Lord and Savior, Mr. Bezos, to run ads every now and again. I have no control over them happening, period, but I can influence when they go down. I'm never gonna run ads in a situation where something interesting or impactful is happening. I'm going to give you some kind of heads up, such as there's going to be ads in 3 to 5 minutes, guys. Take this opportunity to go get food or drink or brush your teeth or, you know, browse through your Brady Games guide for hot tips. And we'll be back in a jiff. Here. And then we'll return. Everyone will be happy. You will presumably be fed and watered and turned towards the light. Why do I have... That was weird. I had in-game music for a moment. But yeah, the ads are typically around 90 seconds long, even though I give them permission to run up to 3 minutes in order to buy myself the most time without there being ads. But to date, the experience has been an hour of consumable stream between ad chunks. The first round of ads, you don't even experience. I handle it in such a way that the ad blast is already over by the time that you likely get your eyes on the stream. If I had the option of not running ads at all, I would take it. Even if the ads benefit me very slightly, I care perhaps more than some would say I should about the viewer experience, even though that's like literally the point of what I'm doing. If you would like to avoid ads in their entirety and support me at the same time, the easiest way to do that is by subscribing. Which is free if you happen to have Amazon Prime already. Good, the spot's not taken. Because you get basically a free subscription ticket perk redeem thing once a month to toss at whatever streamer that you want. It's also very motivating, but that's more of a me problem than you. All right, nobody is here. We'll be killing these beetles if we can at all help it. This is I'm at the cutting edge level, so presumably we're gonna want to grab a level sync at least a little bit higher to make sure that we don't get overwhelmed, although they are pretty easy with all the tools that we typically have available to ourselves. Yeah. So the ads manager, it seems to be giving me a different breakdown over what people experience. Like if they're not subscribed, like it tells me that if I run ads, I can buy up to an hour of time on the actual Twitch website. But the plugin that I have that is from Twitch themselves can tell me that ads can get pushed out as far as an hour and 30 minutes. And because it's from Twitch themselves, I don't really know what to believe. I do have a test computer that I occasionally boot up to check to see when ads run. And it seems like it's gelling with what the plugin is telling me. But otherwise, people seem all right with it. As long as people are ultimately okay with whatever they're experiencing, they're enjoying the stream itself, that's all I care about. Let's see if Reno is back. Reno is back. See, all 30. We'll try to aim for like a 32 instead for safety, and then we'll resync back as people get stronger. Hello, level sync 30, 32 party. Do you need it? Pause. Not Yatonga. That's a Freudian slip. Western Altepa Desert. Oh, let's see. Can we grab hello, level sync 30, 32 party? Do you need it? Position Western Altepa Desert. I need to double check. It's Eastern. Eastern. Ancillor Eastern. Noise. What do you even level at 99? What do you even make to level at 99 goldsmithing? All dro. Okay, so we have our 32 baseline, which is good. I'll eat a chariot band ring to get myself up to speed faster. Welcome. See all 30 to 42. Invite. We're gonna want to have some healing, obviously. I'm partial to Bass tokens just because I run a Bass token conquest link shell at the moment. Oh, level sync. Okay, so he wants over 40. Low level. Nope, nope, nope. Let's see if this paladin is willing. Level sync 32. Party, do you need it? Eastern Altepa Desert position. Sounds good. No rush. I meant what though? I missed what the question was referencing. I actually don't know what the Eastern Altepa Desert OP is minimum level wise. I mean, so I do have shadows, and with so much investment into tryharding Nin, I have gotten pretty good at predicting when my shadows are actually going to go down to keep them up as long as possible. Gotcha. Let's keep the baseline 32 because it could matter. $35+ is what they want. Hello, level sync 32 party. Do you need it? Eastern Altepa Desert position. Level sync 32 party. Do you need it? Position. Eastern Altepa Desert. If I need to tank, I will. I prefer to pull just because in my very personal opinion, I'm very acute to what the party can handle after a few monsters are dealt with. Yep, totally fine. Who else? This person has a +1, which should be fine. I await their response. You probably saw, but I sent you a food that should work with what you asked. It just has RAC instead of AC. AC because Wiki was wrong. Sounds great. We have a paladin. Let's go. Totally incidentally. Zahra. Let me know when they are good to invite. Looks like they are. Party lead. Hello. This track hits so hard. Once I see everyone is in fully and is on their way, I will do the typical Stoic thing of trying to plot out skill chains. We're definitely going to want to take advantage of it because we have a thief, because thief ending skill chains is disgusting. And lit probably in next hour and 15 minutes. Allegedly, it will be short. So we should be back online, I hope, in about 5 to 10 minutes. They are just turning off the April Fool's stuff as far as I'm aware. Yep. You can buy shuriken easily, cheaply from the Tenshodo vendor in Juno. About 5k a stack. If you want to try taking advantage of the nin throwing. Nice. Never hurts to have some backup though. See all. The red mage is saying that he can solo heal. I wish that he had provided me that information, that he was confident in doing that. Sure, that's fine. He's suggesting that he can go slash black mage. Honestly, if he's playing whatever he wants to have fun, that is okay. I'm happy with him doing whatever. All right. Sarah. Okay, so we should, with that, we should have a full party composition. Huzzah. Welcome. Yep. Yep. Okay, let me see what our actual composition is like, even though I've been kind of like pseudo tracking it real time. I need this song calm down. It's gonna lower it just a little bit so I can think. Alright, so let's do it. Let's do the thing. You should be able to see it on your screen now. My little cheat sheet calculator. magitecharmy.com/skillchain.php, an ancient website that is a godsend to me. It's about 95 to 98% accurate in my own experience long term, absent some Horizon specific changes to certain elements and stuff that I'm not going to invest any amount of mental CPU power to trying to memorize. Because the system already be crazy as is. So we're going to be aiming for 30. 30 is what my level is. Camp is pus. Eastern Altepa Desert. Okay, 2. I'm assuming that the Paladin is going to be using a club. I think that someone just black screen. Riseless. Oh, Riseless did. Ghost. Okay. And we have a thief. I sworn I had something that he can end on. I mean, there's detonation there. I don't think he wants to use Shadow Stitch, and I don't blame him for that. Probably Raging Axe Gut Slash. I think these beetles are weak to... They're not weak to wind. They're weak to ice and light, such as that is. Let's see, all rise. Oh, he's not back yet. We'll have to give him a few minutes. Tell Sahra what weapon you using. Any is fine, just thinking of SE's. Smiley face. Reno is a very good black mage, so he'll be able to capitalize on any kind of skill chain that we start. How deep into... I am not deep at all into 30. That's okay. All right. There he is. He's back. Like... So far, so good. Power hasn't caught out. All those human sacrifices I did sure done pay off.
Yes, indeed.
Sacrificed many humans to have a stable internet connection. I just wish that the good Lord had given me enough of a heads up that that was a problem, that there wasn't the requisite number of fallen that he needed, whose souls to consume as he will, for me to get to this point where I can party in Eastern Altaba Desert. See, all right. Invited. Sounds good. What weapon you using, Sarah? Any is fine. Just thinking of SEs. I need this paladin to respond to me, because if she or he is willing to use a non-MP regen club skill, or even prefers to, if he's using a club at all, it will help in flexibility. Because if I can have the... I don't think there's a huge difference actually between sneak attack, gust slash, and boss sting. It really doesn't... I don't think it matters that much, at least in practice. All right, so they are using a sword. 332 paladin sword. What is your strongest spell at ATM? Asking the black mage. And then hopefully it's around the same level that the red mage gets theirs. So he has access to water too. Hmm. It's not really any good water combinations with what we have. There's Shadow Stitch, which I don't know if it's... Is Shadow Stitch good on Horizon? Does anyone know offhand? Any Shadow Stitch enjoyers in chat? ATM? All good. Like, it's gotta end with the thief. The thief's setup is just too strong to ignore. I'll just ask him. Tell Dro, how strong is Shadow Stitch compared to Wasp Sting, Gust Slash, in your opinion? Because if he's comfortable using that, like if it's actually okay, then that's what we'll roll with, because that also syncs up with some of the stronger spells that the mages have. No problem, no problem. Just asking. generally. Gotcha. Do me a favor and bear with me, and let's try it a few times and see what the damage is like. Before I send that, I'm gonna double check. For the SE I'm baking. Okay, so we'll see. We'll do this as like a test run. I will have the skill chain changed if people are so willing. Skill chain. Because if I can control when the initiation happens, I would prefer that. Fast blade. Actually, no, it would have to be Fast blade. Sahara. Shadow Stitch. I remember Shadow Stitch being fine or even okay on Eden. Dro. Water. Wait, one. Oh my god. Wait, one. Dro. Water, 2, and B. Once we're all settled in, because if Reno can use water 2 to magic burst, that's going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. So if I can engineer that happening, it could be more, like as much or more damage than if we were to end with Wasp Thing to begin with. I will off tank for Sahara and first Voke so Dro can get Sata off on Sahara. And that should work pretty good. We don't need the skill chain thing anymore. I said we don't need the skill chain thing anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Dark Souls.
Is everyone having a good Saturday? Oh, crap. Ads running apparently now. Brace. Brace for impact. Oh, man, I was so focused on coordination. I was so focused on coordinating my ducklings, I missed giving the proper heads up for ads. My apologies. Please find it in your hearts to forgive me. I am just a mortal. Deal with it. Link. It'll be a few minutes before we're all together, and by then we will be golden. Golden at post ad start. This is a good time to play with your dog or pet of choice. No, I don't need you to. I don't know what element comes out of Shining Blade. If it's water, that's fine. It didn't used to be terrible on Eden. If it turns out to be bad, we will just change. In which case, we'll probably use Raging Axe, Stoic, Gust / Row. Bear with me, trust the system. Let's try the Shadow Stitch. Of this, I beg. That is correct. Reno has access to water too. As cutting edge Black Mage tech. Am I a Tarotaro to you, ATM? Oh, very good. I just need the Paladin to have faith and try this Shadow Stitch. If it's bad, that's okay, we just change. But if it's not, then it gives the Black Mage the opportunity to use their strongest spell, the Magic Burst, with. Burning so Thief can stand. God, being a Tarotaro is so weird. I know I'm not actually a Tarotaro right now, but I feel like unnaturally close to the ground, and this is why I can't play a Tarotaro. It's why I had to stop being a Tarotaro within like 10 minutes of my first ever character. It's too much. Let me rearrange the party a little bit so I can keep an eye on how the skill chain is progressing. I am so close to the ground. I am not used to this. Oh man. I do wish, I mean, we're still in the growing pain mode, so it will get better, but I do wish that the Paladin was curing some of them more often. He's already half. Just losing control a little bit. It's like One down without dying. Huzzah. Alright, so we're at 30, an official 30-minute warning for the maintenance to go down. When such a time comes, I will give you the heads up that we're about to go offline. We will just treat it as if it were a pseudo ad break. Probably chat a little bit about Final Fantasy XI or whatever the community would prefer. And then it should be up presumably in like 5-10 minutes, something like that. We'll just play it by ear. Today is just like a relaxed Saturday anyway. Let's get the shadows back up. Shadows look good. Need to try to get provoke on it. Does it? Shadow Stitch? Shadow Stitch? Shadow Stitch? No Shadow Stitch. No Shadow Stitch gaming. Raging Axe. Gust slash Mist Window. Let me know when you're ready. Gonna cancel Berserk. Activate tank mode. Okay, so he used Shadow Stitch. Shadow Stitch was used there, but that's okay. We'll go back around to the original plan, which is the Fast Blade, Shadow Stitch. Sometimes it takes a while to get used to thiefing, I get it. Not a big deal. Fast Blade, Shadow Stitch, or Favor. I tried to switch it up after timing. I mean, we're not doing bad. We're still killing. That's ultimately what matters. It'll take us a minute to get there, but we'll get it. Axes slash axes, Reno Taro. So preferably the thief should know to use SATA whenever we're not close to skill chaining. We are close to skill chaining at the moment. So hopefully he's watching now. I'm going to take the reasonable assumption that he is. I'm going to provoke. Hopefully Sarah uses Fast Blade. Good. We're getting there. And then Dro should... There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. He's doing it. Nice chunk. 30%. About 50%. About 60%. Let's see. Very good. Damn it. Health drop. Cheer, Dro. Cheer, Sarah. Shadow Stitch is not that bad. That is not that much stronger than Wasp's thing. Like, it's not just about using what is technically the most strong weapon skill that matters. Like, obviously that factors into it because skill chaining, you know, whatever the end result bonus damage you get from the skill chain effect itself is a percentage of whatever weapon skill is used to close it. You also have to factor in what the other party members are capable of. That can matter a huge amount. Like, it would Wasp's thing to close be technically better in a vacuum? Sure. Would that also not be taking into consideration what the red mage and the black mage are capable of damage-wise? Yeah. Some would say that you wouldn't need to try hard at this level. My counter argument to them would be, if you are try-harding with the intent of self-improvement, I don't think that it really qualifies as malicious try-harding. If you are try-harding because you believe that you're in doing so is like some way putting you at like the top X% of the player base. Not that this is like a competitive game in that way, because it's literally all PvE except for one extremely niche part of it. You're fine. Let's see what he does when I Raging Axe. Let's see if he... Nice job. I think it was a little bit delayed on that. No, it should have gone off. Not sure why that didn't go off. That should have been within the window, I think. Maybe... Does it not guarantee the hit even if you're... I honestly shouldn't have like prompted him to use his TP anyway, even though he gets it back pretty fast. There we go, there we go. Alright, so I'm gonna start to get hit in a moment. That's okay. Good weakness proc. Some of the evasion gear that I have as holdover from Ninja is definitely helping me here. Like, it's not a huge amount of evasion that I'm getting out of this, but it could matter. So, such a squishy Taru. That's true. I could be fine with running as a Taru if I wasn't so dang close to the ground.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad? Persian Salah. Enough of these games.
I wasn't so dang low. I think they missed the window. That's okay. So we'll just do this one. Definitely prioritize the fast blade. Shadow Stitch. The other SE is more of a niche thing. I think I'm confusing him by using Raging Axe, so I'm just gonna hold off on that. I'm just not gonna do it. If he's anywhere near TP, I'm just going to just not do it and elect to weapon skill at 25% or lower instead. Took them a hot minute, but they got gravity working. Big true. You're assuming you'll pull hate is a good thought. This Paladin leaves some to be desired. You get my shadows back. Let's go.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Berserker's not up. I cry.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Good party, for sure. I think that the red mage going sub-black was a good choice. Waiting to see if Paladin catches on. Is the Paladin catching on to the black mage dying? Okay. Little spice, I guess, just to wake up the black mage. Once it gets within a few minutes, we will meet back here. If anyone drops off, if anyone, and assume mate will be just a short minute. Hold TV forest. I hope it's gonna be short maintenance. I know that admins have lives or whatever, but like this is like prime time Saturday, so like taking down the server to basically undo the April Fool's thing at 8:15 p.m. in the year of our Lord is a little bit spicy. Should be fine. Good. Fast blade. Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Wow. Wow, look at that. 70%. 70 to 80% health drop. Pretty good. Congratulations. So you invoke. It's down. Paladin needs to get control. Paladin, please. There we go. One thing that I do enjoy teaching, well, I enjoy teaching new players in general about anything that I'm familiar with. If anyone has any questions anytime about anything Final Fantasy 11 related, I will not pretend to be an expert on all things FF11, but I have obtained a certain minimum floor of knowledge that may or may not be useful universally. So if you have any questions, just feel free to put them in chat. I live to serve. This paladin needs to get... Let's get shadows back up. That's a good plan. One very exciting thing that is coming to the channel. I'm so sure that you're going to be stoked when I say this. Emotes, actually on-brand official emotes are coming. Sub badges, bits, bit badges, all the things that a growing community loves. Sub badges, bit badges, emotes are the kicks of the Twitch world. If they were cereal, some kind of a cereal analogy I'm trying to make. Yeah, I would. I do hit pretty hard with these doll multis. I'm not gonna let myself check a DPS check, but it's been pretty good. 12,500 experience an hour. So without a ring, it would probably be like 6,200. That's not bad. That do be pretty good. Gonna wait for it to get closer before I provoke. Good. Nice, nice, nice. Dang, dude. That's a lot of damage.
Monster kill.
Identify target. KO.
That's a lot of damage. And they didn't have faith. Devman, why maint to undo funny joke? We'll def lose at least 1 to 2 post main, but if you're up to it, we can pick back up. I'm hoping, praying, hoping it'll be like 5 minutes at most. They didn't say they're doing anything else. I'm content to let the Paladin keep hate.
Moshi moshi, motherfucker!
Okay, now I'm gonna provoke so that he can get the thing off. Okay, let's see. Can do it on me. Never mind, we'll save. It's not like so we're doing like 80% damage SCs, right? Like you definitely enter a first world problem reality when your concern is about not overkilling a la Final Fantasy X, where you're trying to hit this sweet spot and doing an SC that is as strong as this one every other fight, and then have that be people's like built into people's muscle memory. Very, yes. So far, people are doing good. This is very good experience. No one's dying. I'm gonna provoke, do my job. Berserk is not up. We cry. Shadows back up, timing it so that when he swings at me, I get all shadows back up for maximum chi high value. Oh, look at that. And then the water too. And then another water, I believe, after that for 30. And then I don't know where the other waters are coming from. I think they're all doing water. Jeez. Jeez.
Excuse me, bitch.
That's a huge bitch.
So much damage. If everyone is working together and squeezing every reasonable drop out of the level checker is a lifesaver. Def recommend. Yeah, I saw a third water coming from somewhere. Shame. Mob DB is kind of close, though. That just shows you the general range. Does show you weaknesses, though. I do appreciate that the Paladin knows to use shield bash in order to draw hate. I don't know if that's common knowledge or not, but it does have a big enmity spike built into it. Having been a mainline Paladin before I picked up Blue Mage on Eden, there are some tools that go severely underused by Paladins, even late game. Namely, shield breaking at every opportunity when you have lost hate as a ghetto provoke, or to secure enough hate in the background to keep the monster's eyes on you. And then when all else fails and you have like samurais that are like TP moving like every 2 seconds, and you know the black mage has forgotten how to control their own hate management properly, using cover can save lives. It does matter. It's hard to macro in. You basically have to do like /P covering bracket tease target, and then do an STPT, if I remember correctly, in order to put yourself in a position and then select the mob. It sounds complicated, but it's really not that bad. I would strongly prefer the Paladin to get hate, but we can't always get what we want in life. I feel like it was 15 minutes ago. Referencing the sword of Damocles that is the impending maintenance. I'm gonna wait until hate is off me before I berserk. I turn away from the mic to breathe.
You want a piece of me, boy?
My potions are too strong for
There he
the
goes.
traveler.
I don't have provoke up. Hopefully it keeps hate long enough. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam.
War. War never changes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Congratulations. Super good teamwork. Gang. As I spend more time as a fake Tarutaru, it's not so bad. I do wish that the POV wasn't so dang close to the PS2 era textures or PS 1.8 textures, but you know, you take the good with the bad. I can berserk now. I have shadows up. I have 1 minute on food. Any other main messages? It was 15 minutes, like 20 minutes ago. I've been pseudo watching. I wonder if I could time it so that I can smash axe as it's using a TP move. I should be able to do that. If I can headbutt on a blue mage to interrupt in real time, I should be able to. I think the black mage is still getting hit. Don't put me on that. Nope, it's me. Good, good, good. Alrighty, logging. Now, see you hopefully in next 5 minutes. That's not, I mean, we haven't been going for very long, maybe about like an hour, 15 minutes plus. But this wouldn't be a bad time for like a micro break. Even though it doesn't really matter, I'm going to level sync, or off level sync. And I'm going to shut down. Anyone that is unfamiliar, there is maintenance to undo an April Fool's event that changes your race to a different one. Which is why I'm a Tarutaru and not the Hume. That's okay. Alright, so we're gonna change it to just chatting. Hello, it is me. Here, I'll even give you a fancy background to work with. As soon as I can remember what I am doing. Please hold. Holding, holding, please hold. Dead air is dangerous. Dead air. I'm coping, I'm molding, I'm seething. Okay, there we go. Ooh, look at that. How fancy, an animated background. Let's go. I bet you didn't expect that. Or maybe you did. Maybe you've seen this stream in your dreams, in your Magic 8 Balls.
Yeah, boy.
So what we're waiting on is maintenance to be over. I would definitely take this opportunity to go eat, drink, nap, go play with a frisbee, what have you. We should be back online momentarily, unless they're doing something more advanced. So let's talk about SEs a little bit. So the community has understandably a historical and muscle, reflex, drive to go with what they already know. You stick with the devil you know over the one that you don't. There was a discussion in the party that sometimes happens, but not always, over what combination of weapon skills to use. Shadow Stitch has a bad reputation, both on Horizon, evidently, and on Eden, and possibly elsewhere, as being a less functional weapon skill to combo into anything. It didn't used to be that things like Gust Slash would work in a skill chain. It used to just be Wasp Thing and Shadow Stitch and above going into Viper Bite. But people need to understand and think outside the box, especially given Horizon specific changes that aren't outwardly mentioned to you, to factor in that it's not just the people that are doing the SE that are involved. Typically, people will do SCs for, at least historically, from like level 20, if they do it at all, to maybe like level 50 or 60. And then through a combination of either laziness or what have you, like they just want to keep like Twitch or YouTube on a second screen and they're content with that, which is fine. I get it. You know, it's a video game. It's your entertainment product. You do with it what you will. But most people are just like, I just want to like press the button to engage the enemy and then just let it ride. Which is, again, that's fine. Especially on Horizon, however, when skill chains have such an outsized effect on the flow of combat, anytime that you can come up with a reasonable skill chain that doesn't cause people to roll with a weapon skill that they're not a fan of or what have you, you absolutely should. It is literally free damage. Horizon, as far as I'm aware, gave some leeway to the windows in which to SE, which matters a huge amount for one. As far as I understand, it also affects their general effectiveness some more, which, coupled with the fact that it, as some of you may know, if you are combining multiple skill chains together to get to some end state, each time that you succeed each skill chain, you are infusing an extra 10% damage into the modifier that outputs the eventual like damage. So for example, if you do like a simple SE and you get like 10 damage out of this skill chain effect, the next time that someone uses a weapon skill that factors into that skill chain, it's 20%. So you're now doing like 12 damage instead. It doesn't sound like it's a lot. However, when you're dealing with something like a thief closing the skill chain, you're talking about the difference of like a 40 to 50 additional damage, or basically like a few, like 4 to 6 weapons, weapon strings for doing something that you're going to be doing anyway. And that's not even including the magic burst effects that are had on like black mages. Like in that SE that we were doing, like not even 3, 4, 5 minutes ago, the SC itself was outputting at least 30, taking at least 30% of the monster's overall health. The black mage was then casting Water 2, which was chunking it for another 20%. The red mage and the white mage, even the white mage, dude, was new to follow in on it. And between the two white mages casting just regular ass water, mind you, they were doing another 15 to 20% damage. So suddenly, from doing the skill chain at about like 80% life, the thing is fucking dead, super omega dead, by the time that the whole thing resolves. Like you can't discount that. Like you can't argue the thing being dead almost instantly upon arrival. Let's do a quick check on the Discord to see. Where we are at. Horizon has always utilized Era Plus to enhance the Final Fantasy. I'm reading the patch notes. The Final Fantasy 11 experience, we decided instead to implement the Era. Oh, this is an April Fool's joke. I get it. The Era minus system and actively make the game worse for everyone. The following items were added in today's patch. April Fool's Day event has been enabled. If multiple players click on the same held node, they will enter PvP. Only the victor shall remain and claim the node. Hang on, I know what's perfect for this. Chocobos now cost 1 million gil. Barbershop NPCs to change character or hairstyles have been enabled, but you have to defeat Absolute Virtue before you can access it. Galkas have been deleted from the game. Beastmasters can now use their pets to attack other players. Oh, that's exciting and very real. Every player suggestion has been implemented, except we have done the opposite of what was asked for, dude. Get freaking owned. Itusemi is now merely a suggestion, will not always block incoming damage, just like Blink. Conrad has been moved to his original spot in Bastok Mines, but he no longer offers outpost warp services. Witchcrafters have been sent to jail forever. Simir, Rock, King Arthro, and Circuit may now spawn inside Lord Juno. Corsair has been added, but their phantom rolls have been removed because gambling is against the terms of service. Due to popular demand, the Twinkly Treants have been brought back, and outpost warps are disabled until they were all killed. They have 20 times more HP than before. Bard songs now stack infinitely because Bard is underpowered and needs buffs. Christmas event is back sometime, or back again somehow, but this time forever. God, this is so funny. This is so funny. Can I have a server back, please? That's what I'm saying. All custom Horizon 11 music has been replaced with this. I cannot even fathom what this is. I feel like this is also DMCA-able, so I'm not going to preview it on the stream. I apologize in advance. Oh yeah, that's super dude. Ah! Yeah, it was exactly what I thought. Listen, you rickroll yourself in your own time, okay? I don't need this. I need this from you after all we've been through. Server notices. Server is coming up. Very exciting. Server said to be coming up unless an April Fool's joke. That was very worth taking down the server for. Granted, this is just a moment in time and space, and at some point in the future, I will no longer remember it or recall it, except extremely sparingly. But like, man, you had to interrupt the height of Saturday. Hopefully we just get right back in. Hey, no flow. All right, we did get back in. Let's go. Swapping back to life. Let's see how many of my fellow compatriots survive the login. Let's hide me for a second. I don't need to be appearing with my fancy background. Super professional. I fade away so that you cannot see behind the curtain. I don't want to break your immersion, which I'm afraid that would do if you were to see me adjust my background in real time. There we go. I could actually stand to be like a little bigger. Let me make myself a little bigger. Oh wait, no, I'm the one that messed up. My resolutions, I was the one that was wrong. There we go. Move myself a little bit to the left to keep as much of the action on screen as humanly possible. Perfect. It looks like everyone survived the journey. Dro is not here, so maybe -1. We'll give him a few minutes. T, command add T, command add T, command add T, command add T. That was incredibly quick, mate. Thank the good Lord. No, thank Altana. Maybe thank Promethea. Looks into camera, although you can't tell because I have synthetic eyes. There he is. Alright, once we get the paladin back into the party, we're good to go. Good. Adjust this a little bit. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Clap. Clap, clap, clap. Nope, I don't want to sync to me. I want to sync to Tro. I don't think that we're low on Shihai, question mark. I mean, we literally have 12 stacks of Shihai after this. I mean, like, yeah, I'll eat another one, that's fine. I'm gonna end up using it anyway. I prefer to have 2 stacks of Shihai kind of floating around in the background, just so I especially don't need to think about it. Slam back a Damal Pie for the precious food.
A hunter must hunt.
We are back. I would actually recommend 2 modes of thinking. You can do both. I would recommend a utility focused path in leveling. And what I mean by that is what I do is when I start a new character, I typically start White Mage. Not just because it is easy-ish to get picked up, because it's such a vital component, especially earlier on as a main heal, but because once you get to 25, you have access to Sneak and Invisible. Sneak and Invisible will avoid you having to pay extreme amounts of gil, basically your entire net worth, anytime that you want to do something a little bit unsafe. You'll have access to, you'll just be able to use Sneak and Invis whenever you need it, instead of paying like 7k per stack. Once you get, if we're assuming that you're starting completely from scratch, you would want to get White Mage to 18, hopefully through a combination of your own efforts. Yeah, let's go, we gotta level up. Psych up. Congratulations, ×2. You should, like, 18 is a cutting edge point at which you can start and complete the sub-job quests, assuming you get all the items. You're going to want to find a group to play with. That typically allows you the extra mileage or insurance that you'll be able to find people who are willing to help you of their own accord, which is admittedly a big part of the game, to get the items that you need for the sub-job. When you get to 18... I'm getting hurt. When you get to 18, you can then swap to Black Mage and get Black Mage to 18. The reason why is that Black Mage at 17 allows you to use Warp. Warp is another big utility spell that allows you to go from wherever you are, as long as you can access a Moogle to change sub-jobs. To allow you to easily go back to whatever your home point is, which is extremely convenient, and I cannot overstate how convenient it actually is. But you want to push it 1 extra level to 18, because that is the halfway point, so that if you do choose to get White Mage to 36 for the various teleport spells and push it to 37 so you can use it for future sub job food for other main jobs, you have the option of doing that. So in short, white mage to 18 to get sub job capability, then black mage to 18, white mage to 25. Then your mileage may vary if you care about getting white mage to 37 after that. I don't know if you would obviously take it if you plan on doing sub job or plan on doing mage jobs in the future, but let's just assume that you're not. So white mage to 25, black mage to 18, that gets you sneak, invisible, warp. Along the way, as you're partying, try focusing on monsters that give you fire crystals if you can at all help it. Fire crystals are pretty good recurring revenue. Along your leveling path, you could optionally, although this is more of like a neat thing than anything else, you could go for Thief 25. The reason why is that it gives you Flee. Being able to move around town a little bit easier at will save you time in the long run. It will help you more than it might seem like it would. Like if you're doing stuff in the background, you could use Flee, you know, go super far in whatever direction you're trying to go to, and then do 5 minutes doing something else, check back, use Flee, and so on. So it's just a quality of life improvement. We have ads in about 5 minutes, by the way, so I'll give you a heads up in like a few minutes, but I should be able to finish the conversation before then. As you're progressing, you're going to be slowly accumulating stuff to sell. Once you get to, I would say, probably 22,000 gil, you're going to want to invest it in a maple table, a set of 10 pots using from whatever nation you prefer. Like, I think saying like Bastock has earthen or ceramic, I can't remember, and the other nations have their own respective types of pot. You're going to want to buy grain seeds if you can help it. They're not always available, but when they are, it matters. And you're going to want to buy dark crystals, a stack of dark crystals. So 10 grain seeds, 12 dark crystals, 10 pots that you can buy from NPCs in the major nations for about 900 each. A maple table, which is always very cheap because it's like an initiator type craft for like woodworkers. It's something that they have to make. Like that's something that they can skill up on. And then each day you check your plants by physically going into the gardening menu, hitting the examine option on each of the plants every real life day once. It's going to prompt you eventually to feed the plants a crystal. You give them the dark crystal, and after 3 or 4 days after that, you then get 3 things. You get coral fungus, a bunch of Taratoa rice, and light crystals. Light crystals always sell well for a moderate amount. Coral fungus is used in rice dumplings, which is like a super staple attack food that also gives you a little bit of accuracy, so it touches all the points of contention, for lack of a better way of saying it, that melees are concerned with, among other small benefits. Like it gives like a little bit of strength, vitality, and so on. Basically, it's a very popular food. Taratoa rice is used in a lot of different recipes, and it's not always easy to find it, so stacks are typically about 2,500 to 3,000 on average, and you get about a stack of Taratoa rice on each random pull from your plants. So in short, if you get all the gardening stuff set up, yes, you're investing like 22,000. Holy shit, that's a lot of damage. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you.
You're spending 22,000 and getting back about 25,000, which sounds like shit, but you also have to realize during the explanation that the sunk costs is like at least half to 60% of it is just getting the earthen pots, or the whatever pots you choose, the pots together and the maple table. So after that, you're spending about 7,000 to 8,000, just about, to get back 20,000 plus gil every week. As long as the seed supply is there, it's functionally free money, which in this game is exceedingly rare. And then you can fill in the blanks once you're level 15 if you can at all stomach the fishing minigame by fishing up moat carp until you get to nebimonites. You'll probably have to skill up on some fish in between, and then from there to guru tuna, which sell ridiculously fast and probably for way more than they're actually worth. So the super long-winded answer to your relatively simple question is you can do both. It's just as soon as you get to maybe like 22, 25,000 gil, which you can get somewhat easily over the course of a couple of weeks, coming from literally nothing just by selling odds and ends that you get. You'll be set forever after that. And then the extra like 15, 17,000 gil that you're getting per week can be spent on whatever. The food, better gear, convenience items, retirement. Ads are gonna start in about 30 seconds. I'm gonna trigger them beforehand. Bear with me. Goodbye. See you in a minute. I believe that you are subscribed, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, that's essentially my answer. Like literally anything that you can do to reduce your travel time matters in this game. This game is all about the journey, so if you could do anything to expedite the journey, you're therefore having an outsized effect on the rest of the game. Yeah, neither did I, until I just took a shot at it. I took a risk. I referenced the alleged output tables from like what the crystal and seed combination would put out into the world. And I was like, I'm just like, the money seems like it would be there if these numbers are right. And they were. It's now my recurring like food revenue. I don't have to worry so much about making sure that I'm cutting corners, not to be cheap for the most part, but because it's out of necessity. And bear in mind, that's just one character. You are permitted up to 3 characters on Horizon. I mean, obviously you can only play 1 at a time because of restrictions, but you're talking about like after like the initial investment, you are getting within a couple of weeks enough money just from that same investment to pay off the initial down payments, so to speak, stonks, for the other 2 characters. And then they're making their own money in perpetuity. Like, the only annoyance with this whole thing is maybe spending like 4 or 5 minutes literally in the morning logging in to each of the characters, checking all 10 plants on each, and then just going about your day as normal. There will always be variance in the prices of things being sold, but taru rice, coral fungus, and light crystals are going to be roughly consistent, which is what grain seed dark crystal combo combines into always. Like, it's only going to ever give you one of each type. It like rolls a number in the background to see what it gives you. But of those things, the coral fungus, for example, can as far as I understand, is like either a very rare chocobo digging thing, or you need to have mobile polos. You need to have mobile polos control to get access to the vendor. Tartar rice is also primarily just a gardening and chocobo digging thing. And light crystals drop off of things that nobody wants to fight, like tonberries and dolls. Like the giant robot dolls that you see in the ruins in FN BCD and Glacier. Ain't nobody want to fight tonberries. So that just that in and of itself just it guarantees a certain minimum floor for how like worth the crystals are going to be. There are other ways of making money. Crafting is the most difficult thing for me to reasonably suggest, if only because I'm only intimately familiar with cooking as a craft. My friend there, Reno Taro, is very familiar with goldsmithing. However, he has horror stories of his journey of getting high-level goldsmithing. Once you get up there, you're basically set almost for perpetuity. Like you just will never run out of money. Things that you're skilling up on generate revenue, which is like a psychotic state of order to be in. But to get there, you're talking about possibly losing millions and millions of gil to insane market fluctuations. The only other craft that I kind of got into at any point was woodworking, and I honestly could not tell you what my experience was from that. Apparently not good. I remember swapping to cooking when I had the opportunity to, or took it upon myself to. But cooking has been good to me so far. The biggest challenge is the fact that everyone else knows that cooking is relatively easy to level up, if only because until you hit like 95, barring access to vendors based off of zone control, you can buy everything that you need more or less from NPCs, absent some types of ingredients. And that by nature keeps everything pretty cheap. I cannot overstate how much I recommend saving 22,000 at whatever time that you're comfortable in order to start gardening. It has such an outsized effect on the rest of your guild flow that I cannot imagine going back and trying to start the game from scratch without gardening at the first available opportunity. The only limiter, to be honest with you, is access to grain seeds. Grain seeds typically drop off of saplings, so unless you are willing to go thief and use the steal job ability to steal grain seeds pretty reliably from saplings yourself, you may end up in a situation where you're at the mercy of people having killed grain or having killed saplings without knowing the value of the grain seeds and just tossing it on the auction house. I mean, granted, if you follow like the recommended path that I've been suggesting, where you get thief up to 25 if only for flea to get around more easily, if you just over focus on saplings and just steal, like, I don't know, if you're doing something else in the background, you just go to North Gustavberg and steal from saplings every 5 minutes until you get 10, send that 10 to one of your mules and so on. That even increases the amount that you're going to be getting back. So giant exposition dump later, I would highly recommend, like, you can keep, like, if you could save up to like 30,000+ because you're not comfortable basically taking it upon yourself to listen to what's effectively to you a random dude on the internet cosplaying as a philosopher robot. That's fine. 100%. You should listen to your instincts. Although, you know, who lies on the internet or who exaggerates on the internet? Certainly not me, smiley face. Sources do just trust me. But yes, as soon as you get 30,000, I would dump like 22,000 into gardening using this specific combination that I mentioned. You can get light crystals and such from other combinations, but the return is in general a lot lower from my own experience. Like if you're using vegetable seeds or herb seeds or things like that, the output is different. So if you roll good, you'll probably end up with like 3 stacks, which is like 10,000 or something of light crystals. And then whatever other miscellaneous BS that you get after that would probably be like another 1,000 to 2,000. There was a point that I hit on Eden just from natural revenue from gardening where I just I could afford things like Ranger, maybe not Ninja, because like I've been tryharding Ninja this whole time, and let me tell you, tryharding Ninja is, you wouldn't think it, but is like leagues more expensive than a Ranger. I mean, if you or anyone really wants me to go into the breakdown of how that could possibly be, I will do so, but let me tell you, it is not a joke. It's not an April Fool's thing. Upside down smile face. The grain seeds will only ever prompt you once to feed it crystals. After that, it'll say something to the effect of it looks good, healthy, flowers are blooming, so on. I think you're thinking of the tree saplings or like the tree cuttings, which do ask you twice for crystals. Those I can tell you almost nothing about beyond if you're willing to spend like, I forget what it is. If you're willing to spend like you need so much income to start on tree cuttings, but I think it's like the going rate for a tree cutting is like 25,000 per. Don't quote me on that because I only did this once. But if you don't give the tree cutting crystals of any kind, whenever it prompts you, no matter what, and you check it once a month, every day, or a IRL month, and it grows, and you can cut it for a very high chance of getting a tree sapling back. The tree saplings back that you get back sell for like three to 4 times their original cost, which sounds psychotic because it is. The tree saplings then get put into the fire for another month to output things like elemental ores, depending on what crystal combinations you feed them, which I admittedly know nothing about because I've never been willing to not get a return on something I'm investing so much money into for over like 2 months. I just won't do that to myself. I won't do it. Like even doing the tree cutting thing was painful because I was basically taking it as read that I would get a really good return on it based off of what I was seeing. We'll want mages to keep away from these AoE silence. Can I provoke down? Provoke's down. So out of the whole tree sapling or the tree cutting risk that I took, I got back probably a profit of 300 to 400,000 gil, if I remember correctly. Damn, there's so many effects on this thing.
Yes, indeed.
Very good.
Things dying pretty fast. Antikins are pretty squishy, despite appearances. Their major danger is that they have lots of asshole moves. AoE blind, AoE silence. They have a gravity move, which sucks. They have like a micro petrify move, which isn't that bad. It's only like 15 seconds on average if you resist. They do drop pauldrons though, which can be factored into pretty rare jug pet foods or jug pet items. And in this particular camp, it's absolutely worth killing them. It's just you have to be careful about positioning. I'm gonna be cocky, activate Berserk. Party is going really good. We're already back up to 9,500 experience per hour. I think that we were on the tail end of my experience ring, so that definitely factors into it. But so even without it, we would be at probably like 7,800, which is like end game party type shit. Like if you have the world's most coordinated party, you can probably push it late game to like 9,000, 10,000, depending on what you're fighting before rings. But accomplishing this amount of experience per hour at 30 is real spicy in a good way. Friendly reminder to all and sundry, if you are happening to be visiting for the first time, pressing the purple follow button on my main page helps me out a lot, not just psychologically, but in terms of the algorithm. I stream Final Fantasy XI content very regularly, along with this smattering of a different MMO called Foxhole, which is, for all intents and purposes, almost categorically different than Final Fantasy XI, save there being like over 2,000, 3,000 players involved and a massive war at any time. I am collecting a list of games to play on off days, like the wildcard stream that we're doing today. So it will not always be Final Fantasy XI on Saturdays. I am itching to play a variety of different games on stream. I just need to do a little bit more testing to make sure that my computer can handle it. I mean, it's pretty strong, but regardless, so you know, you gotta dress for the job that you want. I want to make sure that everything works properly. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 2, Wild Arms, Ultra Code F. Apparently off the top of my head, Xenosaga series, Shadow Hearts, all the games that are locked deep in the nostalgia vault of my brain that I want an excuse to pull back out, and other types of suggestions that the community may or may not have. If you have the mercy, kindness, and availability and access to Amazon Prime and have not given your free Prime subscription to anyone, if you were to deign to give it to me, that will also help more than I can describe. It also disables ads. You want to experience many ads without getting some kind of forewarning from me because of the way that I approach the stream. But just be aware that I'm forced by Twitch to run ads, and although they do benefit me, I don't like them. I also want to play three houses, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. For fun, I was doing a maddening mode run with the Blue Lions, and I do think about going back to that at least once a week. I also have a legally emulated copy of Three Hopes. Ah, fuck. That I would like to play on stream, if only because due to Switch ancient hardware, it is, to me, extremely painful to play that game on 30 frames per second, especially because it's a Musou extremely action-heavy game where frame rate does play into the mouthfeel considerably. Wind, if I recall correctly. Let me see what induration is. Induration. It's 11. It is. Nope. It's ice. Protectra when you have a minute. As soon as I get shadows back up, I'm gonna berserk. That's a lucky fairy for me. I would like to stop getting hit so I can put my shadows up. Trying to time it so that it hits me as I'm casting. Gonna slam back a whole pie in real time. For gamering. I'm content to let the paladin hold this.
Bingo!
Although it does, I need the paladin to get control so that the beetle does not eviscerate my very tiny friend. I need the Tartar Black Mage to be alive for my own designs.
Sloppy.
We're doing good though. Just for fun, for however much longer this party is going to run, probably at least another hour. I don't have chat filters on to see that, but I believe you and agree that is a lot of damage. That's like a... So I have different chat filters set so that I can try to watch for certain things that are happening on screen, like when certain effects wear off or when other damage sources kind of appear that may be undesirable or unexpected. And that means basically factoring out the general party's like day-to-day damage and basic attacks. But apparently the paladin did 85 with the shield bash, which is extremely strong. That's like 4 of my basic attacks. Basically on demand. Save me. Hopefully the thief realizes that he can set on me. Never mind. I get it. We've got muscle memory, that's okay. Damn, dude, look at this damage.
Incredibili!
That's what I'm talking about. Wow. Or is it?
That's what I'm talking about. Wow!
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Oh, so pog. Oh, jeez. get these shadows back up.
No.
I tried to time it so that it swung for me and deleted my last shadow so I could get the full refresh. Get that for me. Love the crit. I'm just gonna let the paladin have it. I do not need to take damage unnecessarily, especially when the TV values are not ideal. And it does give me time to refresh my shadows. If I were not so inclined, there are a few other crafts that I would like to try if I had started over. Namely, ones that people don't think about, and so may have some kind of like crafts that are unique to them, that are under like not realized like how like important they are. I can't really think of any examples, to be honest with you. But for like, I'm thinking of like bone crafting or leatherworking. Like there have to be crafts that are involved that are extremely profitable in some way. I'm presuming that people don't make things like scorpion harnesses at cost. Like there has to be some profit in that, right? Look at that, damn it, dude.
Slow down, I'm gonna spurt. Sorry.
It's so beautiful.
Mission complete.
Wow, he's really pissed at Reno. There we go. No. Dang. This thing is mad at you. Leatherworking probably has some like obscure recipes that are probably very valuable. Although I mean, you could say this for any craft, but the high quality versions typically have like a best in slot tax attached to them, especially things, well, it would be things like sniper's rings, actually, now that I think about it, being like very high level leather crafting, where if you basically high quality like 2 sniper ring plus 1s, we're talking about a difference from like 300 to 4,000 for just a normal OG sniper ring to probably like 4 million plus, because people know that other people feel that never having to worry about like a specific slot or like a certain kind of utility is worth asterisk like 8 to 10 times the original asking price. Big true. So in the earliest days, because we're still early into Horizon's life cycle, to be honest with you, especially considering that as expansions come out, people are going to be coming back in bulk, just from, you know, expansion hype, regardless of whether or not it's a private server. That mentality doesn't really go away. But early in its life cycle, goldsmithing was something that people have migrated from other private servers knew was a craft that was going to be abhorrently expensive to level up. So for the few that were willing to grind an absurd level, to the point that they may or may not have established like poop schedules and stuff for themselves, like real gamer shit, no pun intended, like to amass the gil required in order to get up in goldsmith before anyone else. If they had taken it upon themselves to get that far as soon as possible, those same people are now set for life. They can buy like goldsmithers that got in early were able to take advantage of human psychology of wanting the best as soon as possible and using scarce materials and recipes to amass such a dragon horde-like amount of gold that they're now set to do whatever. Literally nothing is out of their hands now. For the people that have come after them, the floor has already been established, which means that if you were to get really high in goldsmithing now, you definitely, irrefutably would make probably more money than any of us will see in our Final Fantasy XI lifetimes. It will just be less than the people that were there from like the very beginning and had the mindset of, I don't care what goldsmithing turns me into along the path to getting a high level in it. Like, just send it. Just send me. Like, there are so many goldsmithing recipes that are out there that people just naturally want. Like, at any stage of the game. It's just getting to the point where you start to make, like, reliable money for yourself, which I'm assuming would be around the time that you can start reliably high-quality things like the +2 attribute rings. Like what I have equipped now, I believe. Check. Like the balance rings and whatnot, the level 14 stuff. That you can start turning a profit pretty easily. So how do you compete with other goldsmithers if they're all essentially billionaires? Through the two responses that I have. One is a little bit tinfoil hatty. Congratulations. The other one is just the human condition. The human condition answer is that there are so few high-level goldsmithers because of the insane amount of investment required, millions and millions and millions of gil, and being willing to lose it in order to get a precious few skill ups, that the scarcity of the goldsmither naturally creates a scarcity of supply. The tinfoil hatty answer is that they probably talk to each other. You know, nobody wants to experience a situation. Well, I would say nobody. There's always going to be like people that wake up and choose violence on the auction house. Most people would be willing to be like, hey, like intels, and be like, hey, this is me, this is what I do. I'm planning on selling this sort of stuff. I don't mind if you try to undercut me. Let's just keep like the cost of Hades earrings from going from like 5 million per to like 3 million per. Like, they probably just talk, like either in Discord or just in tells or like through ancient GeoCities forums. I don't believe that it is probably the same case with other crafts, but with goldsmithing, I could definitely see it, and I am aware of at least one person confirming to me that, you know, they hash it out, they talk it over. Let's see what level are we at now? So we're at 33. I'm considering resyncing everyone. Like, the highest that they go is 40. I'm going to be 40 soon. Once I hit... No, I'm not going to wait until that. Hold pull after this. I will resync to me so we get experience boosted back up a bit. All according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan. Yeah, yes. Nailed it.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow!
That's fucking teamwork!
Great job, all. By the way. Alrighty, good to go. Or you could just do what everyone else does and level cooking, which is probably, as opposed to goldsmithing being like a 10 to 15 million investment minimum as you get into the higher levels. You spend 500 to 600,000 gil over the course of getting to 95, which gets you to a sweet spot to get advanced synthesis to make things like apple pie plus ones at their most expensive, or not at the most expensive, at their highest quality chance of 50% chance of high quality, and then just fucking undercut other people by like 1,000, and then just, I guess, pray that nobody's gonna notice, nobody's gonna check. Nobody nickels and dimes on this game or tries. R0. There we go. I'm going to take a swig of my Angry Orchard hard cider green apple. Not NAD, not hashtag ad. Oh man, that really warms my circuits. Provoking one. There we go. There are certain recipes that people do respect on the server, or seem to respect, until the one guy that very obviously does not respect the goings on gets interjected. Very lucky I got the shadows off there. Good. I feel like this person is a replacement for someone. We're doing it, Peter. We're really doing it. We're believing. Yeah. This food is good. Is he with someone? There's a white mage that has appeared. I was thinking suspicion that they're a replacement, but I don't know for sure. I mean, that's okay. If they want to hang out with us, that's fine. I support it. I like their hairstyle, the pink Tartaru bun. Cheer Artem's Artemis Kiki. I'm butchering their name. Kiki. The other Tartaro hairstyle that I'm privy to is the one that's green. I think it's the one that has the pigtails on the other side. Don't quote me on that. I love that for me. I of course did that on purpose, man. Of course I knew in the back of my mind that he was done a gun. Rhino attacked me as I got my shadows up.
Ja pierdolę, jakie bydle! Bober!
It's a little spicy. Is it 40? It is 40. Please, Mr. Beetle, let me get my shadows up. Yeah, boy! Oh no, it's just attacking the black mage. He's fine. Black mage getting a little bit roughed up. He's definitely... I need the paladin to evoke. Please evoke. The server ate my TP. I don't like that very much. I don't know why he switched sides, but that's okay. How much does the enhancement matter for gardening? Have a bunch of red jars for storage. It almost doesn't matter at all. The only time that the only thing that the Mog enhancement gardening does is that it slightly extends out the time that you have, by my guess, like 5 or 6 hours before the game will let the plant wilt without you checking it. So it's only useful in an extremely fringe situation, which admittedly I had to rely on once when I was away from my like computers of most kinds for a bit. Where it's like, if you think that it's gonna be like a good day and a half to 2 days before you'll be able to check your plants, and you don't have a situation worked out where like either you have like an IP exception and somebody can like come and check your account for you or what have you, to like go in and check your plants for you, then it's useful, but otherwise it doesn't really matter. Honestly, the red jars are going to do infinitely more for you than the Mog enhancement gardening ever will. TLDR, if you are planning on going on vacation, you may want to make the Mog enhancement gardening work. Otherwise, you know, just find a different computer to log on with. Hot dang, that's a lot of damage.
Emotional damage!
Ooh. Pretty resilient. Is this 42? It is 42. Not literally 42. 40 also in addition. It's like, all right. I mean, even with the maintenance interruption, getting effectively 2 levels in the span of like an hour and what was it, 30 minutes is pretty good. I mean, we're at like 7,400. I don't know why I'm resting. That's just muscle reflex. It's just a thing that you do between breaks. I am looking forward to getting Ninja to 60 and then not doing it anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy Nin, despite it being like tryharding it being like a nightmare for inventory management. I just miss my paladin, but I yearn I yearn, cope, seethe, and mauled for the day that I get my precious blue mage back. Because then I become God.
I am the Senate.
I become the weird job that nobody really knows what they do or what they're capable of or how well they know your job. You can just look at like a red mage or a paladin or a thief and generally know what to expect. But you never know what to expect from blue mages. They could be really on top of their shit, but you don't know what type of shit they're peddling. You don't know if they're doing like a physical damage sneak attack thief thing, or if they're doing like sustained damage, or even if they're tanking, because that's totally possible. Literally never let anyone tell you otherwise. I fucking tanked blue mage reliably all the way into the 70s. Did you know that blue mages can equip Genbu shield? Should they? That's another topic of discussion for another day, but they can. Why? I don't fucking know. But they can, and it reduces their physical damage. Did you know that they can also equip the weird resentment cape that gives them minus 5% magic damage or physical damage? I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been so long. They're the kings of being weird. And boy howdy, do I love it. Let's take a micro break. Need to bio. Back in 1 minute. Alright, so I very badly need to use the little philosopher robots room. I'm going to put us in Be Right Back, and I'm going to preemptively run ads so we don't have to deal with it for a while. I will be right back. See you in a minute. Okay, we have returned. Rejoice. Thank you for bearing with me while I do whatever it is that I do. No. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be able to get it off. Okay, canceling Defender, putting Berserk back on since the Paladin is back. Agreed. Like blue mage at like if the person that is piloting the blue mage is on top of their shit and have gone down the rabbit hole of squeezing every possible minutia of damage and modifier that they can out of their spells, they can do really insane stuff. They just have so many options of dealing with a variety of different situations. That's not even counting the fact that they have a stun on demand every like 10 seconds, which doesn't fully trivialize some bosses or encounters, but pretty close. Like my friend and I tackling whatever the crawler BCNM is that gives you things like the Janine earring and the Wyvern earring and stuff like that, and me headbutting it and stunning it for 1 or 2 seconds every 10 seconds. Like we could duo it without an issue, and that's like I don't think that's a normally easy fight like that. Did headbutting during Diabolos and slaughtered it. Not slaughtered it is perhaps a strong word. If I had not been there to headbutt as much as I was, I don't think that I would have been able to help my Link Shell clear Diabolos for Chains of Prometheia as often as I did. It definitely would have been a lot spookier. So the coward in me just wants to wait for Blue Mage to come out, so that I can, you know, eat through the content as quickly as possible.
Meow.
I mean, the game is hard enough as it is, right? So you take your advantages where you can get them. The only thing that I do hope comes out of Treasures of Odd Urgon more than anything else is I need the Horizon staff to do something about or remove the Calibri's ability to cast or to enable like pseudo reflect on itself. That is like even with the changes done to the experience gain system that allows that like encourages people to XP in the vanilla zones over 50, people are still going to acclimate just out of muscle memory to the Treasures of Agron zones. And I like the ability for Calibri to essentially reflect themselves is like it kills so many jobs, namely black mages. Black mages basically disappeared off the face of the planet on Eden and on retail around that era. And they like Calibri being so squishy and prone to dying so fast meant that most people prefer to camp on them literally whenever possible. Which meant that like black mages were basically like relegated to either level sinking out or picking like fringe camps that were pretty rare. Summoners were and are still extremely underrated, but were especially so during that same period because I don't know if like their like magic cast abilities were reflected or not by Calibri. If that's the case, it doesn't really matter so much. No, it does matter because it would end up casting out the tank anyway. But like summoner abilities weren't deflected. Blue magic wasn't reflected back, it was pretty much just like one job in particular that we're basically just not able to just participate during that portion. The time that I actually stopped playing was a little bit after, or about halfway through Wings of the Goddess, when that was a thing. Not because of Dancer becoming like the de facto sub job in a lot of cases, or anything like that, you know, some would argue led to the general decline of the game's health. But mostly just because it was just a natural stopping point in my life. I really enjoyed the campaign. I enjoyed how brutal and big it felt. Like, you have not lived until you've seen a horde of NPC allies run headlong into a series of beastmen, about 15 models deep, and then proceed to only see like 10 models at a time because of technical limitations at the time. But you could feel it, man. You could feel the battle raging. And that's also why I like Besiege so much. I feel like the fact that they accomplished Besiege and Campaign as like functional, like the round clock things that were going on all the time was amazing, especially for the time. There aren't many MMOs or even games in general that really attempt it. I guess the closest feel would probably be like Shadows of Mordor or something. Just like the general chaos and mayhem of knowing that people are like, real players are dying all around you, and you know, you're basically just trying to fucking hold on to your shit for as long as you can until, you know, something else happens. It felt like you were actually doing the war. The one thing that gives me hope that, unlike Eden, where Besieged and they're never gonna do campaign, just because like Eden's hard stance is that they'll never go past the TOAU era. But like, they didn't try Besieged, and they said that they may never try Besieged unless it's like literally the last possible thing that they can work on for the server. The fact that Ballista is implemented on here and is in a mostly bug-free state, there is some bugs and stuff that happen sometimes, but for the most part it works. The fact that it works, and the fact that the population is generally very healthy at about 3,000 or so, sometimes creeping close to 4,000, like post, you know, honeymoon period, makes me think that they're gonna actually try to incorporate Besiege and Campaign. I already kind of live and breathe the game now, but if they come out with Besiege, like fully intact, where like Beastmen hordes come and try to steal the Astrocandescence, and you have to send out what's essentially a Black Ops team of Final Fantasy XI adventurers in order to get the fun lore item back, I will even further all in. I realize that I've been talking uninterrupted for almost like 20 minutes. I know that that's like literally my job, but like, I need to like drink something. Man. I also need to get my shadows back up. I only very rarely drink. Like very rarely, because I'm a huge baby when it comes to alcohol. But the one drink that regularly does it for me, well, the two drinks would probably be Mike's Hard Lemonade and Angry Orchard. They just hit different for me. And I know all my homies in the chat love Seagram Escapes. The hardest possible alcohol that I can tolerate is probably like Jaeger, and only because it reminds me of licorice. I would not willingly go out and purchase it for myself, but I will also not turn it away if it is offered to me. They had like Angry Orchard Strawberry, and outside of like a single place that I found it at, I've never been able to find it again. I believe it is possible to order alcohol in the United States, like to have it sent to you, but I have not independently verified. But if it is possible, I might have it sent to me. All right, this is too slow. I need something different. General Lo-Fi, be gone. Let's do some BG BPM. Something not Undertale. Something not Undertale. I don't know what this is, but sure. .91 damage on a Smash Axe is pretty good. Smash Axe is not the strongest weapon skill, but it does more damage perhaps than it should for stun. Oh yes, my jams.
Yeah, boy.
Oh my god, it's so high octane. There's so much going on the screen at once, I can't parse it. All I can do is grab my chair and wait for the end. That's me reading your mind.
Jacked up and good to go.
Activating all dopamine receptors. Serotonin levels maximum.
Give me something to shoot.
Hobby.
I do wish, and this is a very small gripe, I do wish that the axes were one-sided. I don't know why, but holding two double-headed axes seems a little comical to me. Maybe there's some kind of like historical... Wow, we actually got it off. That was legitimately impressive. Okay. Just typing in chat here. Convert all. Yeah, Mr. Reno, you gotta run. This thing's gonna AoE silence, and you're gonna be mildly inconvenienced for 5 seconds. I'll be glad to have channel-specific emotes. I'm very excited and interested to see what kind of form they'll take. All I gave the artist was some reference material. There's AoE. Wow, that's pretty far. That's a far range of the AoE silence. But there'll be sub badges, bits badges, and at least 12 emotes. Which, bizarrely, like as you get more subs, you get access to more slots that allow you, after review, to have a certain number of emotes just available for people to use, like baked into the channel if you're a subscriber. I don't know why it's so limited. They only allow you to have like 5 static emotes that are like channel specific to you for subscribers to use, and like 1 animated emote. Better TTV allows you to have 50, and as long as you have better TTV enabled, to use whenever. Like people just have to download the extension, and then they, like, I get it, they have like servers and shit to run, but how expensive could it possibly be to store like a 72, like 30 72 by 72 JPEGs? Like what are we talking about? Like 30 KB in terms of space? Nope, still have no provoke. It can't be that expensive. Better TTV can host 50 JPEGs or GIFs of any description. Twitch should be able to afford it as like a multi-million to billion-dollar company. Like I get that they are trying to get a little bit out of the red. I don't know how deep into the red they are. I know that they were losing some measure of money, you know, because I guess that it was getting, you know, siphoned appropriately into like being able to afford like super yachts or whatever. Yeah, think of poor Bezos, man. He can only go to space on a joyride like once every 6 months. Think of the children. We did this, guys. We went to space. No, you went to space. Or was that Elon Musk? I'm getting my billionaire trillionaires mixed up again. Hook, please. Dude, the key with dealing with semi-AFK party members is arranging the monster into such a position that they start auto-attacking again. And if you play your cards right, it's like nothing ever happened. I need the paladin to evoke off of this. Thank you. God. he's just a little guy. You can only take like 4 hits before he's basically dead. He's just a little baby. It's just a little baby, guys. Just trying to find his way in the Black Mage world. G-high check. Am I not wearing my... Oh yeah, took off my pants. Why? Let's use current. Use current. Take off this so that doesn't weirdly remove my TP for no reason. What else did it remove? Anything else? No, everything else looks normal. The Centurion shit. Centurion shit. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. The Centurion set is a borderline inarguably good looking set. I do like it a lot. I wish that it was on more things. I think like late game, the only thing, like the only look that matches this one but in a different coloration is like the Dusk set. Other than that, you don't really see this combination of like heavy scales, which is a very missed opportunity for sure. IMO. Good. God damn.
Give me something to shoot. Reporting for duty.
The Thief is doing good pulling though. The only thing that I would recommend to him is that he's definitely like the party is resilient enough to withstand him disengaging at like 15% to go find something else to kill. Ideally, if the party can handle it, you want to be in a position as a puller to have a mob coming to the party as close to when the already engaged monster is going to die, so that you have as like you don't waste like a droplet of damage. Does it ultimately matter? No. Could it matter in those instances between like the getting a chain done in 57 versus losing the chain entirely? Yeah. One thing I will never do, and so help me, if I ever act this way, I need you to do something to me to shake me out of it. I will never, if a person is doing their job they're doing the minimum expectations or like competent expectations, let me put it that way, and they're not like overtly letting people die, I won't try to backseat game them. I'm not gonna ever talk to this thief and be like, hey, we could have gotten more than 7,000 experience per hour. We could have gotten 7,400 if you had done this and this. Okay, I need a paladin, please. Fuck. Like, he might be waiting. No, that's too much benefit of the doubt. My thought was that he might be waiting until the Taro gets low in order to extract the maximum amount of hate possible from curing. I don't think that's the case. I want to believe, but I don't have that kind of copium. I don't know if you are watching stream and listening to me, but I just mentioned my only copium is that he might be deliberately waiting until you're hard orange to pull max pure hate. That is almost certainly not the case. The field is probably watching Last of Us as we speak, and I don't. Yar. For bookings, I can get them into position. I mean, they are doing the thing. They are like skill chaining basically as soon as they get TP. So they are paying attention. I just need, like, did the Tartar ever die? No. I need to not Paladin explain. Paladin explain. Everyone's doing real good. White mage doing good. Red mage doing good. I assume. I'm not like actively watching what they're doing, but they do be hitting their water macro when the skill chain goes off. What are tips for a good tank? You never played tank role in retail. So normally you want to, it depends on what job you're playing. If we're using like the de facto tank job Paladin as an example, hate is influenced by how much you are curing people back from whatever percentage of life that they're at. So for example, if they're in white health, curing them back to full isn't really going to do much. Extra hate. It's going to generate some hate that's going to keep the monster's attention on you, but you basically can think of it as getting no special modifier. If they get into yellow health, like the Tartar just did, you get like a bonus amount of hate to curing them. That's why when people are low and white mages heal, even though the white mage isn't doing any direct damage or anything like that the whole time, they can pull hate really often just by healing people that are in yellow. You get an additional bonus to that by healing back from orange, and a massive amount of hate, extra hate from healing somebody back from red. So as a paladin, if you are on top of your stuff, you can deliberately wait for your own health to meet certain yellow thresholds. And if you're brave enough, you can tell the white mage, just let me like hover around in yellow HP if you're comfortable with that, and only try to save me if I go into orange, like something to that effect. There are certain job abilities that have hate modifiers built into them like that. For example, paladins get shield bash, which is a every 5 minutes free like physical attack that stuns for like 1 to 2 seconds. Doesn't really come out fast enough. 5 seconds to evoke. It doesn't really come out fast enough for you to reliably interrupt enemies unless they're casting spells or something. You can't do it. It's just hard. You have to do some kind of like a little bit of prediction, like when they might have enough PP to do it. But it generates a massive amount of enmity. Not quite up to provoke levels, but pretty close. It's something that you would do if your provoke is down and there's like 15 to 10 seconds left until you get provoked back, and you feel like you're going to lose control of the monster. Or if you need hate back now, you would do something like, for example, if the white mage has hate and you provoked and you still don't have enough hate to get it off of the white mage, you would then shield bash in order to secure the monster's attention for you until you get provoked back, or until you can cure or do something else. There are some other like fringe job abilities that have hate built into them that you wouldn't think has that effect. Like boost, for example, has a very, very small hate increase associated with it. So if you're playing like a warrior tank, you want to be basically boosting literally whenever it's up in order to have like just that much more enmity attached to it, or attached to you. Things get harder when you're talking about like ninja, because outside of Yonin now, Your only hate generating tools are like spell spam, which is pretty hard to do or to maintain, both in terms of gil and just like opportunity costs, until you're like 37 or so. Mostly you're just relying on bouncing hate between the tanks as much as you can, and just like maximizing the fact that you're a ninja, so you can just like avoid damage through shadows. Paladin later on gets a ability called Sentinel, which is like, it's a way of guaranteeing that you will get hate for pretty much the entire time that Sentinel is live, for about 30 seconds. It is the ultimate hate generating button unless there's been a horizon change of some kind. And that matters for the next thing that I'm going to say. So if you have not interacted with a monster at all, you are not on its hate list. What that means is that if someone links or aggroes something else, only that person is going to have the monster's attention. Even if you're in a party, it doesn't matter. If nobody else interacts with that monster, it's just the guy that got the aggro or the link that it cares about. If that person dies, the monster will either re-aggro if it can, or just disappear or walk back to whatever its original position was. The reason that I'm saying that in terms of like a tanking respect is because if you are a tank and you feel like you can control the link, you can do something like cast Dia or provoke it or do a ranged attack to the link, which puts you on its hate list. And then thereby, if other people like heal you, then those people also enter their hate list, and so on and so forth. If you have an ability like Sentinel, what you can do is you can cast Dia on the link, putting you on its hate list, and then use Sentinel to max out the hate of both your original target and the link. And because Sentinel basically gives you like a free 90 to 95% physical damage reduction, you're more or less like invulnerable for 30 seconds while keeping the attention of two things. I led a group of about 18 people. No, literally 18 people, because it was a full alliance, to complete an ultra hard version of an already hard fight called Divine Might. Oh my god, I need this Black Mage to not get hit so hard. It's spooky. And during that, I was actually Paladin sub Blue Mage because of Cocoon increasing your defense by 50%, and I almost didn't make it, like even then. And I had the attention of 4 of these things called Archangels. Possible spoilers, I apologize. And each one of these Archangels were like boss characters in and of themselves. So I had to, as quickly as I could, establish hate on each of them, Sentinel, max out their hate on me as quickly as I could before they deviated to anyone else. Cover as a job ability for Paladin, and I'm just mentioning all this because Paladin was like my main effectively until I dealt with Blue Mage. Cover is severely underutilized, probably because people just don't like moving around. They like vibing, which I get and respect. Covering is just a really valuable tool, because if you use up all of your other hate tools and the damage dealer still has like the attention of the monster, like just put yourself in front of them and cover them, and you basically buy yourself enough time until you get enough cure tools back. Tanking is an extremely rewarding role to fill. It can definitely be harder if you have a lot of damage dealers on your team, physical or magical or otherwise. That's how much busting hits for. I don't know. Sure. I think I was so focused on what I was talking about that I didn't realize that they may have done a different SC. If they did, more power to them. One hot take that I possess is that I think that warriors should not be so inclined to like full stop say I'm not going to tank after I don't know when they start to think of themselves purely as damage dealers after like 37, 40. You could reasonably argue that warriors are meant to remain tanks in some respect. Like, it literally just can't be paladin. Like, there's a billion jobs, only one can't be the tank. Like, there has to be some give there. Burn parties or not. Like, the warrior the warrior artifact armor has entity plus built into almost every facet of it. Like, you're telling me that was an accident? Like, I have, unfortunately, vivid memories of being in Quilfam Island. You know? You're at the cutting edge of 20, and this insanely, probably one of the most insanely snobby people I've met on Final Fantasy 11 period over my lifetime with it. Showing up and being like, I didn't know that I was going to be expected to tank. Like, MF, what level do you think that you are? Right? It's like I can't be the only one that thinks that. It's the same dude that said to me, I'm assuming straight face because I could not see them behind the computer. That he was like, I'm going to borrow your shield and then I'm going to loan you $5,000 or 5,000 gil, but just so you know, I'm going to take a screen cap of this conversation that we're having, so that if you screw me over and don't return my 5,000 gil, I'm going to have proof that I'm going to post to Discord that you are a very bad person. Probably only like 1% of people that play this now are like that. I did meet the only other person in existence that's like that yesterday. Or yeah, it was yesterday. Time is kind of like bleeding together. Where I was inviting people for what ended up being an extremely good Yatunga jungle party. Hunting Lizzies for the marble that you get for like teleport Altep. Like Vernon's, the scroll. And I invited him, gave my normal spiel, like slash tell, party, level sync, blah, blah, blah. Do you need it? Position, area. And the guy is like, check my rank before you ask me to go to jungle parties. And I was so weirded out by that response that I asked him, I was like it's a good party. I'm sorry, I like other people, you know, have been fine with it that are your same rank. And he just kept going on and on about how it's hard for people, not everybody can hit rank 5, and that like I should know better. This is a weird series of positions to kind of like volunteer to me at once. And he was like, make sure that you don't waste anyone else's time like this. And I said, I'll just blacklist you, man. It'll be a lot easier. $98 to 99% of everyone that I've met has been great. Out of these somewhat sketched people that I've met, at least they're able to keep their sketchiness mostly to themselves, and they keep like the grumbling like to their own circles. I should be thankful though. I will say this. I should be thankful that they didn't wait until they were already in the party to behave like that. They had the courtesy to basically tell me that they're damaged right from the start. Gotta keep they hungry for the drops. Steve was saying that antigons are being hunted, which makes sense. Like their drops are valuable. Let's see if I can time it with their TP move. The smash axe. I doubt I'm gonna get it off. I'll be very surprised if I get it off. It's gonna be soon. R0? Why isn't Thief attacking? Is he AFK? I was so distracted by that, I forgot to actually do the thing. I feel like people are getting tired, which makes sense. We've been going at it for 2 to 2.5 hours. I definitely get that feel. I got so many negative stats effects on me right now, man. I have about 15 to 20 minutes left in me. If people want to continue, I will pass, lead, and rep myself. Love the gravity. The Galka is used to being over there. I don't know what's happening. There's a glitch in the Matrix. Okay, that's the third person saying that they're down to end in 15-20 minutes. So we'll keep the party going for another 15 to 20. I don't know if they've like hive-minded to decide that I am the new paladin here. I don't know why we've switched positions like this. Fine. Love it. No, why'd you waste it? What? They're definitely getting tired. This is just decided it was a time to fast played. That's okay. good. We've been going at it for a while. Okay, good. They're changing places. I like my Usa-Semi-Ichi back. If I'm lucky, I'll either parry. Yeah, dude, let's go.
Nice.
Oh, dude, force strength, force Sam leather belt.
Oh my god! Inhuman reactions!
Okay, I guess I'm keeping hay for a while. Egg mode it is. Das is okay. I'm glad that I did that because that bought me enough time. Man, it really hits Zutaro, dude. R0? R0 Gaming? We'll turn out the Thunder for now. Let's not confuse people. Let's just go to our original positions. people are starting to take liberties with the sauce. They're like, I'll just add like a pinch, like 2 pinches of sugar over 1 pinch of sugar so I can make it my own. I went on a big cooking bender some time ago, and while I was preparing this fairly complicated recipe IRL, I put like the smallest possible pinch of hot chocolate powder in the mix, just so I could technically say that it has a secret ingredient. True shit. Nope. Too delayed. Little bits of R0. Semi and P. The April Fool's event has corrupted the server. Not literally, but we are getting like little R0s here and there. All good. There's a smidgen of R0s. By the time the party ends, we'll have 33. Going 30 to 33 at 30 is a big deal. That's a lot of progress. Good timing. I don't know exactly when the cutoff is, but there is like a leeway of about like a second to a half maybe, where if you are attacked as you start the cast, the game doesn't register that you are going to be interrupted. But the timing definitely relies on how quickly the monster naturally attacks. If they're a naturally fast attacker, like a Mandragora or something, you're gonna get interrupted like crazy. Beetles attack semi-fast, like almost every 90% that you are along the way into your cast bar, but if you cast it like literally right as they attack you or just before, your chances are good that you'll be able to have this spell go through. Thankfully. I will be very thankful for the opportunity of becoming a paladin again. If only because I miss it a lot. There's not a lot of enmity food out there. I personally prefer to this music is getting too turned. Nope. Nope, something else. Give it to me. Give it to me. Something else. Nope, something else. Nope, something else. Is this shuffling? It claims that it is. I don't believe it. I think it's trying to psyop me. What was I even saying? Oh, there aren't many like enmity foods out there. Because as a paladin you are distinctly based on defense, having defense food and thereby reducing the overall workload on the team is probably the way to go. You're not going to get much mileage out of attack foods, not to the degree that, you know, you would get a benefit from just like constantly rolling low on like enemy attacks on you. I'm talking about getting like 15, 18 basic monster attacks on you, like at level 11 if you eat something like boiled crayfish. Man, that was a lot of hits. So let's talk about, since we were talking about tank stuff before, let's talk about what it means to have defense and vitality. So because the game explains literally nothing to you and you have to rely on wikis in order to make up the difference, you can think of your defense value as increasing. The higher it is, it increases the chance that the enemy is going to hit you more often and for lower. What vitality does, the vitality controls your maximum damage ceiling, so a hard cap on how much the enemy can do to you, period. It's not a huge reduction, but it is there, and like if you're going to be an aspiring tank, you should know that it exists. 2 points of vitality also gives you a point of defense. So if your vitality is extremely high, then your defense is also probably going to be up there. So you are simultaneously prompting the monster to roll lower on you more often, and when they do hit you, they can only hit you so hard to begin with. And it's the same thing in reverse for attack. Although there's very, 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 very few weapon skills that I'm aware of that scale off of vitality. I don't know if there's even actually, I don't really have an example. Most of the ones I'm thinking of probably scale off of mind, if anything. I'd have to actually look into it. Maybe the club ones do, I don't know. Whereas like a bunch of weapon skills typically scale off of, okay, Steel Cyclone. The Steel Cyclone fucks, if I remember right. Unless I'm thinking of Sternwind. But like compared to the number that just scale off of strength and dexterity and other relatively straightforward, understandable interactions with like weapon skills, vitality isn't gonna net you any huge gains damage wise, because it's not, that's just not what it's meant to do. But for certain content, especially endgame content, if your goal is just to be a damage sponge, maximizing vitality and defense in any way you can matters a ton. Woo! 3 levels. Down to about 5 minutes left. So we'll give this about 5 minutes to go. I need to take a drink and shut up for like 5 seconds. Man, all this streamer does is freaking blab about game mechanics. It's exhausting. When is he gonna talk about what I want to talk about, like favorite animes? Now, if you want, although admittedly I'm a little bit weak on that. I think anime is great, but like the most recent one that I watched was Girls on Panzer. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I went into it with measured expectations, and that paid off dividends. 86 was also very good. I enjoyed how it made me feel suspenseful and melancholic. Oh yeah, cannonballs do scale off of vitality. I have a whole freaking equip set just waiting for the time that blue comes out. Yeah, blue vit. What do I have in here? It's like vitality and strength, I think. Vitality and something else. Vitality, vigor ring, unyielding ring, beak mantle, warrior's belt. Behold my library of carryover blue mage equipment sets from retail. I spent like a good 2-3 hours coming up with level current, like the stuff to swap in to react to many varieties of like modifiers that blue mage skills take advantage of. Like if you think that like blue mage like spells are only guided by like intelligence or whatever, because like that's the common understanding with like other spell types, you are wrong, man. It is a labyrinthian structure of interweaving modifiers that will take you as far as you're willing to go. It is the red pill of the Final Fantasy XI job world. I think it was the red pill. The red pill was the one that allowed Neo to like become the chosen one or some shit. I actually don't know. To answer your question, no flow. Since they tried to nerf Nin from tanking, do you think they will try to do the same on Horizon with Blue? Blue was a unique enough snowflake in and of itself that you didn't really see them, period. You saw ninjas everywhere, more or less because they were like sub-job fodder. Please save the please. I have no tools to pull this off the black page. Oh my god. A little wake up. My god. That was way too close for the starving. Could have easily died there. Oh, I'm 15 folk. I cannot pull off him. I need to do shield bash. Shield bash cure. Shield bash cure. Shield bash cure. The Paladin's getting tired. That's okay, I get it. We've been going pretty high octane for like 2 hours, 45 minutes. I don't think they're gonna touch blue, to be honest with you. The only thing that I think that they might touch for balance reasons is headbutt. And it's not so far-fetched to believe that they would touch headbutt if they touch Yutsusemi Ichi the way that they did. Headbutt is such an overwhelmingly strong tool that even though it does like chip damage later on, the fact that you have an on-demand stun every like 10 seconds is fucking insane. And most, as you can imagine, like benefit of hindsight, the original developers didn't consider making almost anything stun resistant, because what stunned free treasures? Like sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Dark Knights and Black Mages. Like, so like the developers were like, stun's never going to be an issue because like 2 jobs maybe can throw 1 stun out every 45 seconds or something. Blue Mage says, hold my beer. I'm going to stun every MF in the room. Yeah, I would. Everyone did a... People are saying, should we call it? Good job. Lot on whatever you like. That was a very productive party. I do not want any of this. Besides you almost dying like 50 times, that was a very good party. We floated around 7k experience hour at full tilt or ring. Other than that, Blue Mage is something that was, like, even at their arguable prime, was something that wasn't really touched or fucked with. It hits so many different notes of weird that, like, the one spell being Headbutt being, like, the one outlier. And, like, I felt like Headbutt was too strong when I had access to it on Eden. So if anything, it probably should be it probably like should be looked at, maybe. I don't know, give it like an extra few seconds. Like what's the alternative, really? Making an entire vanilla expansion and mini expansions set of monsters be slightly or conditionally stun resistant? Nah, dude, just fucking add a few seconds, I guess. The one change that I think Blue definitely deserves, which might be a little bit unusual to hear said out loud, is that they have the ability. Let's change this to something a little bit more relaxed. They have the ability to, through a combination of spell equips, to get the trait Rapid Shot, which means that you get a delay reduction on you throwing things. Or like shooting things or whatever, but Blue can only equip throwing shit. And even then, they can't equip very much. Like Roguettes are in, and maybe like a few other like chakrams, and like your typical like garbage throwing items. Why can they equip Rapid Shot? If they're gonna be able to equip voluntarily something like that, motherfucker, just give them like throwing skills C- or something, or even D. Like, you're not gonna be able to use it, but at least you can excuse it. That's a good line. I should write that down. Okay. I am going to check my stuff and then get rid of all of the garbage. Let's put the Beastman seals away. All in all, despite the micro interruptions and us starting a little bit later than normal due to forces outside of my control, that's a pretty good stream. We got a lot accomplished. 3 levels at 30 is no joke. We hovered around like 7,500 experience at one point, full tilt, before ring. So with ring, it was probably like closer to 13,000, 14,000. I'm gonna have to remember tomorrow to use the chariot band so I can refresh it instantly, because I'm already, my back is to the wall on that. So What day is it? Question mark. Monday. So Monday would be normal. So I'm assuming that Reno, who I'm pseudo-staticking with for all intents and purposes, is going to want to keep leveling up his Black Mage. I don't know. Are you planning on taking BLM past 37? Just asking in case. No, I'll just let him respond to that. And then deliver my garbage to the NPC. I might be doing war, and Lord is my, and like God is my witness. I'm going to get war to 37 within the next week. Okay, so he's gonna try to get to 40, so I can probably keep all the shit that I have on me now. And I will do that. I will see if there's any improvements that I can grab from the auction house, though. Like the absolute state of the axe market making me cry a little bit on the inside. I mean, like big manly tears, not like little wispy tears. Like the kind that I can like suck back into my eyeball. Ooh, what's this? Like 50,000? 17. Okay. It's actually really good. What even is good at 30? Let's check some ancient websites. Let's do that. That's fun, right? 2007. Let's go back in the past when games that suck ass. Garlage, more like garbage citadel. Am I right, everybody? Lamel. Let me check to see if I have any notes on non-garlage citadel camps, please. I should. Whenever I discover new camps, I keep a log of them. That may help others on their journey. Leveling 31 to 40. No. No. I mean, we could still stay all the way to 35. We would just have to swap to Dommels. That's not that bad. We can sink lower. That's not really a big deal. Recommendations for partying at 32. 33. My brothers in Christ. Have you looked at use? That's extremely good. Let's do that. That's probably much smarter than what I was about to do, which is more or less like just guess or like look at MobDB and try to suss out new camps, which I should be doing anyway, but very good example. 30, please. 2030. 2030, 31, 34. Okay, so Horizon added mobs that have like the special defense. Okay, so these are a little out of order. It's okay. It's hard to structure camps in a way that makes sense. Wasn't there... I'm vaguely remembering something. What am I trying to remember? I think they changed the levels of beetles in the Saramag Champagne. Raise defense at start of the fight. MP burn recommended or magic burst required. I mean, it doesn't have to be 30, 33. It doesn't have to start with me. It's just easier if it was. If I have to go down to 32, I think that honestly will just pick the Dommel fight next time. I'll play it by ear. I'll do my own research on my own time. Because your time is exceedingly valuable to me, and I want to give you only high-octane content when I can. I will be grabbing these axes, though. That is non-negotiable. I have to take them. This is the way. I have spoken. 17. Okay, and I'm going to equip those now. Juicy, juicy damage increase. A truly huge difference. And return the battle axes to the ether. You two, good night. I'm going to sell them for lower. Probably much lower than I arguably should. But I just want to get them out of the way and into the hands of somebody that can actually make use of them. What other changes can I make? Let's check earrings. Even though, actually, no, I don't need to go crazy with this. I do need to upgrade my axes. Those are badly needed, but I don't need to go any crazier than that. Especially since I'm cutting it off at 37. This is fine. I'm just gonna leave it as is. I will be buying darts though. Because if I can arrange it, I do want to be pulling. Well, good. If you mean like all the stuff that's been coming out of my mouth, I am super glad that it helps. I am here to serve. My role is serving butter. Oh god. Gonna grab board poem here. How are we doing on region or conquest points? 19,000, very healthy. And let's grab darts from this lady who has them for some reason. I'll grab 2. Fuck it. You don't pay my sub. You could reasonably argue that the fact that so much, like the game almost borderline tries to hide things from you, encourages and almost necessitates a higher than normal amount of cooperation between players. So, like, treating it like like an ancient tribal method of passing on knowledge from like one person to another, it do be how it has to be. There's just no getting away from it. I also need to get rank 4 in this character sooner than later. If only because it means that I can worry less about Signet. Not that it's really a problem now. But we will finish up the stream here. We're actually at about 4+ hours? Question mark. Okay. And while I was going on that whole spiel, I missed giving the heads up that ads were incoming. If you are already out of the ads, I apologize for not telling you that, like, perhaps the most annoying aspect of the site is like going to be in your face in moments. But I'm going to start wrapping it up here. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this stream in any respect and you want to make a genuinely huge impact on me, I recommend clicking the follow button, the purple one that's on my site page. It means a lot to me personally, but it also matters to the algorithm because people like watching stuff that other people watch. And I'm going to search for someone that I can deliver people too, if only to improve their quality of life in the same way. So give me a moment. Thank you so much for the follow, Anomaly. I'm going to find another individual whose day I can brighten by sending them a truckload of human beings. Even momentarily, it'll still matter a lot to them to get the raid notification. Horizon streamers. Glancing. To be glancers. Still glancing, apologies. There's actually a lot here.
This game is so popular, it's Pog.
Let's see this person. Okay, this is good. All right, so bear with me as I send you through time and space to another streamer. And while you're there, it would also make a big difference to them if you just like said like hello. / raid name of person. Rami. Okay. I appreciate you all. You should receive some kind of notification or something that you're going to be sent out. I appreciate your time. Have a good one. Bye.